Good night, everybody. A few hours for election. This has been on my mind. There's just so much information to go out there. I totally want to thank everybody that's been calling me due to elections. Many,
I totally want to thank everybody that's been calling me.
many have been calling me regarding. That was a back feedback. Many have been calling me on many issues, on many stuff, and this one's very serious. False allegations. This is a facts. This ain't no fake news, by the way. I get hit on by different people, and on what I'm gonna show you is pre-recorded by Miss Cruz. I reached out to the person that's running for office. Her name's Susan Paradise. She's in Imperial, and I have the facts here because in Imperial, you're running for office doesn't show where they live at, and I have it right here. I have everybody that's running for office in Imperial County and other counties. I have Riverside County, I have San Diego County. It's just a big book. I had to make it small, but um, sorry, this is Brawley. But yeah, Brawley's almost the same. Yeah, the city of Calapat has the same issue, but the city of Imperial has no information. It's all black, just says their name. And you could get this, you could download their public information. It's public file under the county website. Any county website is public file if they're running for office. One thing I gotta say, if you're running for office, don't have a baggage. Two, get your facts straight and stop lying to the people. Three, I am serious what I'm talking about because as a journalist, Culture Leadership Today, I just don't run by gossip, I run by the facts. I've done many shows in the past where it's been serious. And I'm gonna tell you guys this. You guys might not like what she's gonna say. I asked Susan Paradise for an interview. She declined. I'm pretty sure she erased it off her Messenger because that's how I reached out to her on Messenger. And if she's listening, great. But if she wants to shine in, great. But I got the facts. And to cut to the chase, if you guys can hear it, let me know because this is, like I said, it's pre-recorded. And it's about 30 minutes long, about 30 minutes interview. And I'm just showing what's the facts, and I got the facts. And thank you for those for supporting me behind the scenes. Sponsorships are coming in due to the grant class. That's another thing I'll tell you guys. That's the grant class coming up pretty soon. But okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm telling you. So at the moment, I'm gonna just let you guys know that this is serious matters. Um, this is not slandering. This is just facts. This goes to a person running in the city of Imperial, California. I got more. I got one on. I got another show, which was supposed to happen this week in Sacramento. Same thing. I just been so busy with my campaign, working for my business. That's I gotta say. I have another one. And I have another one that's embezzlement, which I'm working on to this day. I'm interviewing. This isn't embezzlement, but this is in Riverside County. There's a big one. This is another big one. This person has been stealing money from people, the Mexican culture from Texas to California and Per Valley and Florida. So that's another show I'm working on. But this one that I'm doing today is a fax. I've been, like I said, I got so busy. I've been called. Many people from the city of Imperial reached out to me. I'm gonna say names, and they thought I was never gonna do the show, but I am doing it. Not just because it's tomorrow's election. It just I've been so busy. I have a full plate. I run another business, but at the same time, I'm going to let you guys know this is a facts. I just don't run a story without gossip and facts. I have the facts, and that person might shine in. Before I do that, that person might not even shine in. So that's just quick heads up. But this is where I'm at, and I'm just going to cut to the chase to the interview because it's a long interview and it's pre-recorded. So if you got any negative comments, go ahead. But I mean, the truth is the truth. I mean, Um, I'm also going to shine in on the politicians from all parts of the country. that have taken money from private entities. Um, that's financial records that's going to be popping up pretty soon. Um, there's so many shows I'm working on behind the scenes right now to the guys let you know. We're just getting the facts after facts after facts. I believe in black and white. I don't believe in gossip. And a lot of reporters don't do this, and wherever they're at, some are, this is just the facts. And I want to thank everybody that's reaching out, seeing this on Culture Leadership Today and YouTube channel. And like I said, you want to leave your comments, go ahead. They're up and ready. But let me just shine in into this, and here I. Hopefully, you guys could hear. If you guys can't, let me know. Difficulties as well. Uh, the system. I just wish the system. So just bear with me. Just like I said, as I work on this, it's just hmm. So one thing I'm gonna have to do is just upload it to my YouTube channel. I'm thinking right now. You guys can see it on the YouTube channel. Um, because I'm just trying to see it live, and I'm like I said, this system I use. I don't know what's going on with the Zoom.
I don't understand why they didn't have him by ambulance or have him by helicopter from El Centro to San Diego. So it was a severe burn, second to third degree burns.
Fine.
So it was a severe burn.
As a East State, this is Daniel, Culture Leadership Today. This is pre-recorded as I could speak. So all those negative comments that are all going to be on Facebook will be deleted. I am speaking to the mother regarding her son on the incident she's been posting on social media, over 600 views in Imperial County. And I have the mother with me. I did my diligence reporting and reached out, and she's willing to do this interview so you guys could hear her story on what's going on this case. As I speak with her, I'll be sharing the Facebook post, and you can speak now. Go ahead.
I just want to thank everyone for all the comments that I've read and I've received, and I'm really I guess I'm just speaking because I finally feel like my son is heard, because he's really the silent victim here, and my daughter. You know, my kids have been exposed to Susan and to Jerry for several years now, and I've tried to get them heard through the courts, but because it's coming from me, it never goes anywhere. And it took this incident to happen to my son, for this to finally get heard through CPS here in San Diego. And he was Jerry was finally he did get in trouble for he did get founded for neglect down here. And I don't understand why Susan wasn't founded for neglect, because she was also an adult in the house as well. My son, had second to third degree burns. I wasn't contacted until it happened Friday night. They didn't take him to the hospital that night. They took him to Rady Children's, and then Rady Children's sent him to by ambulance. They got there to Rady Children's at 10:36, They took him by ambulance from Rady's at by 10:51 to UC San Diego Burn Center. That's how. I don't understand why they didn't have him by ambulance or have him by helicopter from El Centro to San Diego. So it was a severe burn, second to third degree burns. My son has a shunt in his head, which was, I mean, I'm just, the more and more I talk about it, the more I get upset. So what brought this post a couple weekends ago.
We're having technical difficulties.
The judge threw it out, thank God, and basically told them to get out of her courtroom. But
go back to the courtroom, because I lost that feed right there. I had that internet feed.
So they took me to court in February, just this last February, and said that I'm homeless, that I don't have a place for my children, that I don't take care of it. You know, they just had all this nonsense. And the judge literally told them to get out of her courtroom and just that she has, you guys don't have anything better to do with your lives. I mean, and I started crying because I have been up and down with these two. And it made me feel so good to finally have a judge tell them, like, get out of here with this, So this has been going on with them for quite a few years. And I don't, before Jerry met Susan, him and I had a pretty good parenting. There was no problems. And after, we split up, we had this understanding. I wasn't happy. He knew that I left. There was no, he knew I'm not happy. I'm leaving. So, you go on with your life. I'm going on with my life. I feel every time we've gone to court, it's Susan that's taking me to court. She just does not like me. I am the ex. I'm the mother of the children. And I honestly feel like she just does not like my son. My son looks just like me. And she has done things to my son that my oldest tells me. And my son is really sweet. I mean, he's scared of her. That's the worst part about it. My son doesn't talk. My son doesn't express, and she's told him, if you tell your mom, I will hurt you. She's told him these things. And he'll either tell my daughter, and I have to, Papa, tell me, don't worry, I won't say nothing. He'll tell me, Mom, but you don't know. You can't tell Dad, or it'll have to be like, I'll have to get out of him. I have to get out of him in a different way. So I have the kids in counseling so that they can, I've made sure it's in their IUPs, because I want them to go to counseling, and I put it in their IUPs so they go to counseling through the school. The school's even called CPS on Susan and Jerry. And they called Jerry down, CPS San Diego called Jerry down into their office and had him sit down and say, this is a picture of what your children drew. And it showed him with his two kids, and it showed Susan in the back in this big blob, like a shadow, like a monster. And they said, this is what your children think of her, and this is how she is with them. And he said, no, the mother manipulates them. The mother tells them how to do these things. And they're like, the mother wasn't here when your children drew this picture. So I believe my children, because I'm the one who picks them up every weekend. or every other weekend. I'm the one who has to deal with them crying every time they go with them. Just this last 2 weekends ago, I was late dropping off the kids, and Susan was in the car and to pick them up with Jerry, and she called me a whore in front of my kids. And my oldest, she's a girl, and she defended me and she told her, "Don't call my mother a whore." And she said, "I can call your mother whatever I want." And Daddy didn't say anything. He didn't defend me, and he just looked away or whatever. And because I asked her, I said, "Well, did Daddy say anything?" And no, Daddy didn't say anything. But this is this good Christian woman that she proclaims in her post that she is. In our court papers, she's not to talk bad about me. They're not supposed to be drinking around the children. I know for a fact that, because the kids tell me, my kids and I are very close. My son is always right by me. There's no closed doors in my house, but my son is always with me. My kids talk to me. They feel like they can tell me everything. My kids have expressed to me that when they go over there, they're not allowed to open the refrigerator. They're not allowed to eat freely. When they're home, they're like, "Mom, when we're here with you, we're home. When we go over there, it's not home." Like we're like on pins and needles. Like they're like on their tippy toes. Like they can we have something to drink? Can we get this? So it's really nerve-wracking for me, because when they go, I kind of go into a depression, because I wonder, am I going to get another call? Is my son going to get hurt? So when I went to pick up the kids 2 weeks ago, and I saw that sign, they're plastered everywhere in Imperial. I came home and I looked on the website, and I looked at all the pictures, and they're my kids, and she tells their dad that my kids are lying, that she doesn't do these things to them. Well, if my kids are such liars, why do you have my kids all over your posts, like you're some perfect little family or something? If they're such liars, and she's told my kids they have bad hearts. She told my son that he has man boobs. Now my son's paranoid and thinks that he has these man boobs and doesn't want to go around with his shirt off. She told my daughter she has big broad shoulders, like she's a bodybuilder, like a man. She told she put my son, just this last summer, she put my son on a 900 calorie diet that was not doctor ordered. She put him on a 900 calorie diet because she told him he was too fat, and that I feed him, I give him chocolate every day, and I want him fat. And you can even read that in the reports, where Daddy even calls him obese. They both call him obese. Both my kids think they're fat. And I'm over here trying to, no, you guys are perfect. You don't have mad boobs, Papa. You're perfect. And then they go over there, and they're telling them they're fat. Susan calls them stupid. She flicked my son in his forehead. How are you gonna flick a kid in his forehead? My little guy wanted his ears pierced because he wanted to, that body image. He's in his chair. I get him really cool little wheelchairs. I could get him all decked out. I get him nice rims. I'll pay the extra whatever. I want him to have the coolest little chairs or whatever. I said, "Papa, you know what? I'll get your ears pierced. Let's get your ears pierced." He goes up there. His dad ripped him out of his ears. and he cried like a baby. He cried. So, but I I got an attorney. My friend helped me get an attorney when I first got custody because Susan and Jerry, they said all these lies, and thank God my friend stepped in to help me because I didn't know how to fight it. It cost me 10 grand to get my kids, but I won. And so ever since then, for the last 5 years, I've been fighting and fighting and fighting, and I don't want to lose my kids, but it's just I just go to court every time. I just go in there and I just tell the truth. And this last time, I don't understand how he didn't lose custody because I have to worry. He still puts him in the room. He still closes his door. Every time I'm like, don't give him a bath, he'll still give him a bath. He doesn't care. And they were drinking that night. My daughter states it in her report. She said, they asked her, but my daughter tells me they drink because she's seen the bottles.
Uh-huh.
She's told me. And I don't understand how the DA, how they did not pick up this case. I don't understand how they say it's an accident and that it happens to children all the time. You know what? A mother with a disabled child, this is your biggest fear. This is your biggest fear. I always wondered, I taught him, Papa, if there's ever a fire, if there's an earthquake, if there's a shooting, a school shooting, this is what this, you teach, if there's an earthquake and there's a power line and you got to watch out for these things, so I'm teaching them these things. How can you not check the water? Like how could you? I never close a door. You have a special needs child. You don't, and him, we've had these conversations and all he tells me is, you don't tell me what to do in my house. He closes a door in his house. The kids are in the dark. He doesn't even put a nightlight in there for them. And I don't know if this is, from what I'm told, the kids tell me it's all Susan. It's all Susan. Susan she told him to take off the door hinges. She told him to take off the locks on the doors. They're not allowed to have I've never been in their house. We don't have that kind of relationship. I can never go to him and say, hey, I need help with the kids with this, or I need help with that. He doesn't help me with anything in that perspective. Know anything about their house, or I don't know anything about his life. But I only know from what the kids tell me, and it just, if I was a kid, I wouldn't want to be there, and my kids don't want to be there. They want me. They beg for me not to go there. Like, Mom, tell them we have a game to go to this weekend, or tell them we're sick, Mom. It's even gone. He doesn't even go to their graduations, and I don't know if that's Susan doesn't want him to go, or he just doesn't want to deal with it. But he hasn't even gone to 6th grade promotion, 8th grade promotion. I mean, when she went from 6th grade, so when my daughter graduated from 5th grade, he didn't go. My son just graduated 5th grade, he didn't go. So I don't know. And the DA,
the San Diego DA or the Imperial County DA?
Imperial County DA. They were the one. So the CPS case was down here in San Diego, and then the DA was supposed to be the one that picked up the case up there in Imperial. And when I sent the email, I checked in and I was like, what's going on with the case? And the Detective Hernandez said, I sent the case over to the DA. So I never have heard anything back about the case. So if the case went there, shouldn't I have heard something? Obviously, there's a case. I mean, I don't know how that works. I mean, I, I wish that I had an attorney or I had someone to help me to give me that advice, because everybody that I talk to doesn't believe that they got away with this. 2 adults, and they were. How do you not take him to the hospital that night? And we know they were drinking. I mean, yeah, we don't have like the facts, but they have cameras in their home. They have cameras in their home. All their home has cameras. There's cameras outside. They have cameras inside their house. So how do we not? I'm so disgusted.
Yeah, because the facts you sent me was about your daughter when she spoke to the CPS. Am I right? The one you sent me.
Yeah, the CPS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that was her alibi, her statement, basically.
Yeah, that was her statement to the CPS. What happened because Susan, when my daughter heard him crying, and she told them, and in my house, there's just us 3, just me and my 2 children, and all open doors. So, my son's in the bathtub, doors open. I hear everything. I'm right there, and at that time, if my son's taking a bath, I'm in the bathroom. I'm cleaning the bathroom. I'm picking up clothes. I'm folding towels, or I'm cleaning the mirror. I'm right there. There's no. The thing that makes me sick is there's 2 doors in that bathroom, from what my daughter told me. So it goes. You walk into the bathroom. There's the sink. Then you have to walk to another door, and there's the bathtub. There was 2 doors to that bathroom. So from what I know, from what my daughter told me, those 2 doors were closed. So I can't. This is what coming from my daughter, but I don't know if both doors were closed. I mean, I know one door was closed, but I don't know if the second door was closed. Can
you also collaborate because I got like 10 more minutes here on my channel on the cell phone thing you told me about, that they can't have cell phones even though they're kids.
Oh, so back in so they've had cell phones for 2 years, a little over 2 years, and they're allowed to take them up there. I want them to take them up there. So just this last summer, especially with this COVID, he had them, and it became a big thing, especially because my kids are older now. They want to play on their phones. They want, kids want to do everything on their phones. So I couldn't get a hold of the kids because they're not allowed to take their phones up there, because Susan, this is Susan talking to the kids. Because I'm not going to have you recording in my house. I'm not going to have you record anything in my house. I'm not going to have you this, because of the way she talks to them. She knows that and my kids are smart enough, they'll record it and they'll show me. And yeah, I'm going to show somebody, because, I'm going to tell somebody. This is what I'm trying to get you guys help. This is like proof. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. So I couldn't get a hold. I kept calling his number, the dad, because I don't have Susan's. I've had her number. I've never called it. I don't care to talk to her, so I've never used it. So I had Dad's number, and I'm smart enough to know that Susan, she would love to say that I've called and harassed her. So I'll never use it. But Dad's phone line, I'll call and say, hey, I'll text, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of the kids. So it had been like a week, because I'm only allowed to call like on Wednesdays, court order. Everything is court ordered between us. And so it had been like a week, and I'm like, okay, this isn't cool anymore. So I started calling and I started blowing up his phone. I'm like, I don't care. It's been more than a week now. How come I haven't heard from the kids? And finally he calls me back. Oh, I'm sorry. I have two phones. Um, I'll have Susan have them call you. Oh, he put. I even have the text. He's like, oh, you're not allowed to have Susan's number. I'll have them. I'll have her block it so the kids can call you. But before that, I hadn't heard anything. So before that text even happened, I did a welfare check. Okay. So I called the Imperial County and I said, listen, I haven't heard from my kids. I'm worried about my kids. This whole COVID thing is scary. You know, I need to find out what's going on. So they sent this cop. This cop went down there, checked them out, whatever. The cop calls me back. This cop was a jerk to me. Not for somebody who's calling me back to do a welfare check. Like, oh, yeah, you know, your kids are fine, blah, blah. He calls me back and he's like, well, the house was nice. The house was clean. Your kids are fine. Like, you know, pretty much like, you know, what's your problem kind of a thing. And I'm like, he treated me like if I was, you know, some crazy ex, just being ridiculous or something. I didn't get a good feeling. In fact, we had words because I said, why are you talking to me like this? Do you know her or something? And he's like, what are you, he said, what are you accusing me of? Like, if somebody could get a hold of that tape, they could hear our conversation and they would see that we had a conversation where I was defensive because I was like, why are you treating me like this when I'm the one who was concerned about her children? Because I haven't been able to get a hold of them. And then, in fact, I even hung up on him because I was so pissed because, the way that he talked to me. But it came up in that conversation, how come your kids don't have cell phones? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I would like to know. How come my kids aren't allowed to take their cell phones over there? So during that conversation, and in fact, that's what I told you when I was looking, you know, I don't stalk them. I blocked them years ago. But when I saw that her thing in the valley, when I went to go pick up my kids, I went on the website and I started looking at the pictures. That cop that called, that I talked to, when I was flipping through the pictures, my daughter walked by and she goes, Mom, that's the cop that came to the house. And in that picture, Susan's handing that cop cookies. So I'm like, oh, now I get it. That's why he was such a jerk with me on the phone. So I called him out. And I'm glad I called him out because I didn't even realize. I mean, I did realize, but it was just that the way that he was talking to me, I had that intuition of, oh, you must know her. So you're treating me like I'm the crazy ex, but she keeps telling everybody. I'm not the crazy ex. Like I always said in my post, I'm the pissed off mom whose kids keep telling her the things that these two are doing to them. And, you know, so after the phone thing, dad and I talked about it, and I said, you know, it's everything's through text. We don't talk on the phone for nothing. And I said, listen, the kids want to be able to take their phones. My son said, no way, Mom, no way, because my son is still very vulnerable. He's still very he's not the type that's, you know, if Susan says, give me your phone, you know, he'll just hand it to her. And if she says, give me your passcode, he'll give it. My daughter's more of the fighter. She's I'm not giving you my password. You're not going to go on my phone, you know. So, and he's deathly afraid of her. So my daughter, she took her cell phone that weekend. And first, so Daddy was okay with it. Well, as soon as they got to the house, Susan wasn't aware that she had the phone, I guess. And then when I guess Daddy must have told her that Juliet had the phone, she went into the room and said, "Give me your phone." She said no. She said, "Give me your phone, or give me the fucking phone," or something. She cussed. She cusses a lot around them, but she said something like that. I know that it was bad because my daughter was like, no, Dad said I could have it. And she's like, no, you're not recording anything in my house. And she snatched it out of her hand. And so my daughter was crying. and she was really upset. And so, as soon as she gets in my car, she's like, "Mom, you already knew. You already knew. Susan took my phone, but she already put a passcode on it, so she didn't think that Susan got on her phone. But I check their phones. I don't. I'm right here with them all the time. My kids are always with me. I have a
You have him now. You have him what 70%? You said, and he's
Yeah, I
30.
have them 70% of the time. He gets them every other weekend, and I've never tried to keep my kids from them. I want them to have a dad. I do. I want them to have a dad. My oldest, I have a daughter, 28. I have two grandchildren. I'm getting ready to have another one, another grandbaby. And her dad, I didn't keep her dad from her. In fact, her dad and he helped me. If let's say that I was short 1 month and I needed more, he'd say, you know what, here's child support for next month. I just give it to you now. I don't have that kind of relationship with their dad. He doesn't help me for nothing. In fact, he didn't pay me child support for a whole year when he first met Susan. We had to go to court for him to start paying child support.
And now that you say you're going to court, are you going to court in Imperial County or San Diego?
No, I live here in San Diego. So, in fact, we go to court in El Cajon because that's where I am. So, I won't. I don't want nothing to do with Imperial County. Even CPS that's been involved has never done anything. There's been calls made to Imperial County. They've never done anything up there. Nothing. And now I know why. I know why now. And I don't even want my kids up there. I mean, to be honest, I just to see that they think that a disabled child could just get in a bathtub and it's just okay. Like, yeah, it's okay. And that's how they're treating it. Neither one of them have never said sorry to him. They have never said sorry to him. And that's his problem. He's like, Mom, they've never said sorry to me.
And he's 11? You're the age of the kids?
11. He's going to be 12 in June. He'll be 12.
And then the daughter is?
My daughter's 12.
Okay.
She'll be 13 in April. So they're both very, very bright. I mean, they're opinionated. They've been through it. They've definitely been through it, and they're very close. It's very close. And
what do you want Imperial County to know that you're in San Diego? Because they're gonna ask me that question. Why, how that movement? But you met him in San Diego, am I right? Jerry, you met him in San Diego.
Yeah. I'm a native. I'm from San Diego, and the thing that kills me is we separated in 2012, and it's like he started working, and he actually got a real job in 2012, and he started working for the union. He was always working for under the table. He never really had a real job, and that was my biggest problem, because when I met him, I worked in finance. I'm getting ready to go back to school to finish my bachelor's in accounting and science. I'm not some loser like she proclaims me to always be to all of her friends and his friends. And, I worked in finance for 16 years. I've been off these years to take care of my son. I'm his aide. I'm his everything. I do everything for him. I've saved his life. I take him to the hospital. I'm his everything right now. And I'll never change that. Money, before I had him, I had a Mercedes Benz. I had the Coach purses. I had, none of that matters. When you have a son with special needs, that matters. Keeping that little guy alive, making, just that matters. And it just pisses me off that they make me out to be this bitter ex, and I'm not.
My last question, you still going to court, or are you still, how's that going?
I'm going to have to go back to court because he's only paying $600 in child support. That is $300 per child. In his last CPS report, he stated himself, and she did, they make over 10 grand a month. So you tell me. And only reason why I haven't yet is I need to get all my ducks in a row, and I want, I want a good attorney, because I want to get
An
it.
attorney for Imperial County or San Diego?
Thank God. Right. Yeah, well, I'm open. I'm open.
Steve Horn, if you're listening, when you see this, you never know, Steve Horn, you might want to reach out to her. So
yeah, I'm open. I'm so drained, but I will fight for my kids. I will fight for them. They're my.
and this is just in your sense of disability, so that people understand he's in disability. He's in a wheelchair.
My
Pictures
son,
might not look like he's in a wheelchair, but he is in a wheelchair. Your son's in a wheelchair.
he's been in a wheelchair since he was 15 months. He's paralyzed from the waist down. So
See, people don't know that. They don't see those pictures. They don't. They see all that information you send out, but they don't really comprehend.
he's had 11 surgeries. My son has died in my arms 3 times. I mean, he's gone completely blue. He's had a good fight. I call him my little Iron Man, because that little baby's been put back together so many times. And there was a comment, a nursemaid, and she hit everything. She said, she was a CNA, and she said, she goes, if that little boy was brought into my hospital and I had to care for him, that's the first thing we do. We call CPS. We call the police. We know. She cussed. She's like, we know that this, this was an accident, so they say. But when you see something like this, why in the hell were you not taking care of this baby? Why would you leave this baby? First of all, why wouldn't you check the water? It's not like his dad tried to say that the water in the valley was hotter that day than usual. And then she made a comment too. Susan said, oh, the water in the valley was hot that day. And then she tried to blame my daughter. She tried to say that it was my daughter's fault because my daughter took a shower before my son. And Jerry had to use hot water to rinse out the water. So she had my daughter thinking that it was her fault. And I told my daughter, it is not your fault. So these are just, that's why they're in counseling. And I get that through the school so that it's in their IEPs, because to get counseling from outside, it was becoming a little difficult because of Dad's insurance. He even made that impossible. It became impossible because they have to go through his insurance first. So I just said, you know what, we're going to go through the school's through the school's IEP, so it's mandatory that they always have counseling. So that's the way I have it. And so they always talk to somebody. My kids always talk to somebody. It's always getting written down. They're always talking to a counselor. They're always telling them how they feel. And these things are validated through their counselor. If a judge, when they're older, wants to talk to them and validate that through the counselor, they can. And that's why I do that, because the things that I'm saying, they can be verified through their counselor, through the school, through the judge. So that's why
you're keeping your I's and T's crossed, which is good with the kids on their counselor. When it comes to court, you have it already there.
Because I'm with my little guy, like, every day he's pulling down his shorts, or he doesn't want to wear shorts because of his scars on his legs. Like he shouldn't have to do that. He shouldn't have to be worrying about his little legs. And he cries, he still cries. He says it. He says he hates his dad. His dad doesn't even know that. He says that. He goes, why do I got to go to my dad's? Because all my dad does is put me in front of a TV and leaves me for like 7 hours. And I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. He goes, yeah, he goes to the store. He doesn't take me to the store, Mom. Why does he even want to see us? And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Are they home this weekend, or
Yeah, they're with me this weekend.
Oh, this weekend with you. Huh?
They go
Oh, they
next
go next weekend.
So we're kind of hoping that maybe Susan will not be there because maybe I don't think I don't put this. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't want me to pause this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to stop, you could stop now because I'm down to my
Okay.
hour now. So, but yeah, we'll be following up. I'll be following up with you on this, and I'll be, look, I'll cut it right now
Yeah,
to keep
okay.
you. I want to tell you off the record because
Okay.
just you
Okay.
give me more information, and I'll, just
Okay.
keep you informed right now. What I need guide you for on this now.
Okay.
I'll check. I mean, end this and. There you guys. That's all I gotta say. She said it. I reached out to Susan. She declined my interview. I reached out to everybody who's running for office, and Salam declined. Probably I'm the tough reporter. I don't know what it is, but I just know my job, and I that's all I gotta say. And I'm glad that Miss Cruz had to say what she had to say, and you guys hear it. There it is. I mean, that's part of how people are these days. But like I said, I'm running the next show will be about something about Sacramento, and then the other one's laundry, and then I'm working on a documentary. I got confirmation today. So yeah, there's just so much I'm doing behind the scenes, but I'm about the facts. I just want to thank you guys all tonight. Don't forget to vote tomorrow. Tomorrow's election, so watch out who you're voting for. Do your homework. Their information is public record, so anything you get is public record. Like I said, I got my own book here. I got my own election book I made because I have Riverside, I have San Diego, I have, you name it, my investigation research I do. But peace out. Reach out to me if you guys want to inbox me at Here Culture Leadership Today. I am looking for sponsors if you guys want to. And also want to thank, you're welcome. You guys my number on the bottom of the screen. And I also want to thank everybody that's listening. Thank you, DJ Martinez from Sacramento. Thank you. Of course, Cruz. And those that are listening, thank you as well. So at the same time, I'm going to give you guys my number. This is a serious matter. But like I said, I'm doing more interviews in many subjects. But yeah, thank you. And that's all I got to say. Have a good night. Have a peace out. That's it. Thank you.